this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here again with our autumn altered book. I do find that quite a mouthful to say, I have to say. And what I thought we could do is now have a look, because I've been busy making lots of ephemera and things to obviously put into the book. And I thought, let's come along and see, you know, how we're doing kind of with the amount of pieces that I've got made so far. I mean, I do find an altered book has an awful lot of pages to fill. Yeah, I don't know whether it compares kind of, you know, really, I suppose, unfavourably to a different kind of journal. But I seem to, yeah, underestimate a lot how many pages I have to fill. So opening my book up, now I know that I talked about, I leave the first few pages kind of plain. So they're just kind of journaling pages. So that's my first few there. Oops, I've got two there that I had obviously missed with the painting process. That's fine. I could maybe glue them together or cover that up. Or, of course, I could go back and paint them. We'll just see how it goes. So, yeah, I would leave kind of these, whoops, these free. And I will go to, like, my first area where I've got a pocket. Because this is a really nice, then, reinforced page that's going to be thick enough for the embellishments. But I've got, you know, a fair few there for, obviously, journaling. Now, of course, once I've decorated the journal, what I will do is go back through and I'll maybe stamp some things, or maybe just kind of, you know, I don't know, put the odd... I can't really spot something that's just ideal to put there to demonstrate, but you know, I won't leave them plain. I will just go back and just fill in little details so that there's something on most of the pages, so it's not completely plain. But for the time being, we're going to go through to, yeah, so this is our first pocket page. And what I'm going to do is just kind of have a look and see how many sides I've got. So I've done the same at the back, where I've obviously left some plain for just journaling, and then my back pocket, it's not as many as the front. I've just got kind of 3 pages there on the back. But so that's my kind of pages that I'm going to use for decorating up. Now again, depending on how this book goes, if it suddenly starts getting very, very monstrous, you know, really, really thick, then of course I will ease up on the decorating and, you know, kind of not carry on with so many embellishments, because, you know, of course, obviously I don't want it kind of compromising the book. So all I'm going to do is just kind of have a bit of a flick through and just put some things so I can see approximately, you know, how it's kind of going. I'm not worrying at the moment. Well, she says, and now of course I am doing exactly what I said. I'm not worrying. Yep, so now it appears that I am going to be worrying, but I was trying to say I'm not going to worry too much about sorting out what's going on what page at the moment. But yeah, of course, you do end up doing that a bit, don't you? So I'm just going to go through and just pop things in sort of randomly. Again, using those pages where I've formed pockets, because they're the nice sturdy pages to put my embellishments and things on. So I'm just kind of working my way through, and then I can kind of gauge how I'm doing, you know, with regards to the embellishments. Do I need more? Have I got kind of pretty much enough? You know, it just gives me a kind of base to work from, I suppose. So it's quite a good kind of exercise to just go through and see how am I doing, you know, with regards to what do I, you know, now need left to make. So just, yeah, popping things in very randomly. And as well, this will then allow me to gauge how thick and bulky that this book is then becoming. So, okay, let's just have a look. They're kind of single pages. Okay, I could pop another one there, and one there, and then something here, I think. So, you know, that just allows me to gauge how fat my book is kind of already getting. So as you can see, it's already getting, you know, reasonably chunky. And I know perhaps it doesn't really look that chunky, but obviously by the time that we've added lace and we've added, you know, things into the pockets, because we've added nothing so far to those pockets, it's already bulking out quite a lot. So, I mean, to be honest, that being the case, I probably have more or less got enough in terms of, embellishment pieces, because I can always then just do other little bits and pieces on the pages, because I don't want to kind of bulk my book out to a point where it becomes then, you know, like unusable. So I really like to just kind of work in an eclectic way and just flick through and work on the pages that I just fancy going to. So that's exactly the style I'm going to kind of use here. I'm not going to kind of do it in a methodical front to back or anything. I'm just going to flit around and kind of, you know, go where I fancy going, I think. So I might start with this page here. I'm going to just get my scissors to hold the book open. And we can just get gluing in and having a bit of fun now. So on this page, as you can see, I've obviously missed where I've been painting, or I've missed here. So probably my best thing actually probably is to put that there and then just do something over here that kind of just disguises this a little bit. So I think what I'll do is I'm just going to tear some doily down. Like that. And you know, there's no hard and fast rules, and you know, just kind of what you do one time might not necessarily be the same thing you're going to do another time, because you might, you know, discover a sort of better way further in. So I'm not in any way trying to say, oh, this is the best way or anything like that, but this is just something that I think is going to work quite nicely for me, you know, today, here and now, really. So just going through my decorative papers here to the side and just seeing whether I've got anything that would kind of tone with this side of the page and look, you know, nice with the other side. So I knew that I had this because I had torn this down the other day. So like here, what we could do is have this kind of glued on this side of the page, and then it just ties those colours in, and it's completely not bulky. It's not intrusive on the page. It's not bulky. You've got journaling space here. You know, you could even journal over everywhere. But it's just a way of kind of toning everything in together, rather than just having a, you know, completely blank space there on the facing page. So I think that's how I'm going to do it. Now I've got my Fabri-Tac here, which I'm going to glue the doily down using that, because, you know, sometimes that other glue does mark the doily once it's been coffee dyed. So I'm just going to glue that down here, like that. And again, just take my dry wipe. Okay. And then this one here, so I'm going to just have that there. So what I'm going to do is just trim that down at the edge. Okay, and then that's just going to go just here, or actually it could even come down further. Okay, so we're just going to glue that down now. Oh, it's really muggy today. I'm filming ahead, obviously, so I know, boring, I say this every time, but I just literally, I say this for anyone who kind of doesn't watch my videos regularly and don't realise, you know, I'm filming ahead. So honestly, I'm not lying. If you live in the UK and you're looking out thinking, well, I don't know where she is, but it's hideous today. It's, well, it's not sunny today, but it's super muggy. So it's one of those very early autumn days that's very, very muggy. Okay, so that's like that. And then on this side of the page, I was going to have doily, but I'm not so sure. Not so sure whether I want to have it unless I just have it there. Oh, I might have it that way on, to be honest, because that looks quite nice. So let me again hold that down. Just grab my doily in. Okay. Just put that down here. So again, just kind of dab that excess glue. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're all having a good day. Oh, like I say, it's very, very muggy here. So I've got my window open. So I apologise if the traffic noise gets a bit much. Hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. But, you know, this is always obviously a chance that it's going to suddenly get a bit noisy if something loud goes past, you know, like a lorry or anything. Right. just getting some of my crochet lace, because we might like to have a bit of lace in the corner or something. So let me just cut that down in the raggedy way. In the raggedy way. I don't know whether that's such a thing, but so just wondering, do I want that kind of over the raggedy lace or under? I think under, actually. So yeah, I think kind of like that. Okay, and this, I will probably just put this in like a tuck spot. So let's just glue that down. Okie dokie. There we go. I do love the changing of the seasons, I have to say. It's yeah, really nice when you see kind of the lovely different colours, you know. And to be honest, I don't really know whether I can actually pick a favourite season. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I would have kind of always said, oh, summer's my favourite, but I don't know now, because I actually think all of the seasons have, you know, lovely things about them. I mean, I love Christmas, absolutely love Christmas. So, you know, Christmas is a kind of favourite time for me. Just checking whether I've got that lace the right way up. So yeah, Christmas is a favourite time. I love kind of spring, you know, that sort of, I don't know, it has like a smell in the air of, I don't know, just really, really nice. And, you know, when the evenings suddenly start getting light and things, that just feels lovely. Equally, I love the autumn with the gorgeous, gorgeous colours, you know, of all the leaves changing and things like that. So, you know, that's gorgeous. And of course, I love summer with all the pretty flowers and, you know, the sunshine and, oh, you know, every season has something wonderful to offer, doesn't it? So, yeah, I really struggled to kind of pick a favourite, really. I'm probably not alone. I suspect lots of us, you know, are similar in that we would struggle to pick a favourite season. But yeah, I like the changing of the seasons. I think is, you know, is really lovely. Right, just having a look to see whether I want to have like a number or something like that to just add a bit more detail somewhere. I mean, that's quite nice there. Yeah, let's have a number there. Okie dokie. Oops, okay. Yeah, what's your favourite season? Or, you know, maybe you don't have one. Maybe you're a bit like me and can't quite decide. I just think they all have something unique and something special about them, don't they? So there we go. So that's my first page spread, and of course, you know, it's just plain at the moment. And when I go back through the book, you know, once it gets a little bit more decorated, I might start doing some stamping and things like that. Again, I haven't obviously inked any of these pages, so they're quite ivory at the moment. And I probably will go through and ink them. In fact, let me just grab my ink, which is behind me at the moment. Oops, hold on. In my little bag that I take to my mum's, so because I went to my mum's yesterday. So right, let's just get my ink. So I don't want to kind of be too heavy-handed with this, because the painted pages, they pick up the ink quite, you know, quite drastically, I suppose would be the word. So I don't want to kind of really overdo it, so I'm just going to dab it off slightly before I kind of apply it to the pages. But I do want to have them inked up a little bit, because otherwise they're quite stark, you know, and quite bright. So we just go around a little bit like that. So this is just vintage photo that I'm using, just to get a bit of, you know, a bit of colour on here. So there we go. Okay. So it just tones it down slightly. So, I mean, of course, you know, again, you know, you could go through the whole book and just ink your pages before gluing anything on. I don't do that because I think, well, you might actually glue down over some of it, in which case you might have inked pages that really didn't need much inking at all. So it might be kind of a waste of time to do it that way. Right, so that's the first page done in my journal. And actually, as you can see, this was not even a pocket page. This was a, you know, empty page, I guess, would we call it. So again, I'm going to leave these pages probably until we're a bit further in with the decorating. So I'm just going to kind of jump around and jump through to another page that I just fancy decorating. So we've got this page here, which again, as you can probably see, this was a picture page. It had a full-size image on there. So, I ideally would like to cover up everywhere that there was picture. And then I've got this, treble or quadruple pocket, depending on how we use it. So just wondering which side would be better for this. Let me check, but, oh, that's not a pocket page either. Oh, this isn't going very well, is it? So I think I did this one in the mass making, but I might put that down there. And so what I want to do is probably, again, put something behind it that's just going to cover up this, that's sticking out sort of behind. So again, just going back through my papers, seeing what I've got here. So I've got this here, or I have this. Let me just tear this down. I mean, we could have something like that, or do we think that's just way too bright? I mean, it's quite out there, isn't it? But, it's not horrible. It's kind of quite nice. Or I've got the other half of that page, which was much more subtle, I guess. But that's a bit weird because now I've got the banner poking out. So, no, I'm not going to use that. Oh, it's so warm, honestly. I don't know whether I actually am too happy having the leaves, actually. Right, let's have a look at the pages from last year's kit where I've got this black. So that might be better, I think, in here. Now, the only thing is, this is quite thick paper that this is printed on, and I probably would have preferred this on copy paper, if at all possible, because I probably didn't want to kind of have anything as thick as that. So I might have to do a reprint of that on some copy paper. I'm just having another look through quickly. I don't think I've got any of last year's on thin enough paper, which is a bit of a shame, isn't it? So perhaps we'll come back to this page when I've done some more printing. So let's just go back through and we'll work on a different page instead that, I can just get on with kind of using some other bits and pieces. So let's do this page, for instance, here. So we've got this, which I can use either sort of as a belly band or kind of to the side. I might have it in the middle. And again, just having a look to see. So again, we might want to have some of the background page just kind of poking out. I wonder if we could have this. Let me just cut or tear this down here. I wonder if we could have it like that. Might be quite nice. Right, let me now cut this down. So just trim that down along that edge. Okay. And just pop that down there. Okay, so that's quite nice, isn't it? And we could even have it, we could even have that sort of more actually to the edge of the page. I'm not sure. Oh, this is very annoying. I really could do with printing some of those other sheets on, flimsier paper. It's, a bit annoying. do I like it like that? I mean, that's quite nice, isn't it? And then I'm wondering whether we could have some more kind of goldy orange bits here. So let's just have a look. Got some more goldy kind of flowers. Well, I guess what we could do is kind of have something on the opposite page which would link the two together. This again is a sort of flimsy page, so I don't want anything too thick. So I mean, to be honest, having a gold flower might just be ideal. You know, that's just enough then to just add a little something to the page, but not too much. And obviously, you know, once this page is then inked up a little bit. So I'm going to do exactly what I said I wasn't going to do, which is I ink the page up a little bit. I know I said, oh, I won't be doing that because I might end up inking where I don't need to, but I'm just going to just ink very roughly around here. Sorry if it's jogging the camera stand. I know I've said this before, but obviously my desk is very flimsy because, well, it's not flimsy, but it's quite wobbly because it's an old desk. But yeah, I'm very fond of it. I do love my old desk, but it's obviously not the best for being kind of completely still and stable. But okay, so pop that down like that. So if we were to have this here with this as a belly band, and then we said the gold flower, whoops, over there. Let me just stand up and have a look down. So that's quite nice, isn't it? And then I wonder if we could take any of the ephemera pieces. So let's just have a look and see what we've got. So I printed out some more of the ephemera pieces because I couldn't locate them the other day. So I'm wondering if we could have something kind of with the red that would just tie the red in. So okay, just trim this out. Going to cut it off that piece of paper. It's much easier when it's you know, not on the full size piece of paper, to be honest. Okay. So, and again, you know, don't be kind of intimidated if you see kind of something like this needing cutting out, because, you know, again, it's very forgiving because nobody really knows the exact shape that frame was. So if you cut off any little jaggedy bits, it doesn't really matter. It's, you know, much more forgiving than kind of, for instance, cutting, you know, a circle or something that literally would stand out like a sore thumb if you make any form of mistake. So, yeah, don't be kind of put off and deterred by anything like that. Right, let's have a look. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm so hot, honestly. I think it's affecting my ability to concentrate. Right, I just suddenly spotted that I had these little stamped pieces, you know, just literally loitering around on my desk. I mean, I stamped these years ago. I think I found these the other day in my Tidy Friday. And, I mean, literally stamped these like, you know, I'm talking years, like maybe 7 or 8 years ago. I don't know. A long time anyway. When I think my friend and I, we kind of like did a stamping fest where like she stamped loads of my things and I stamped loads of hers. So as we had all those stamped images, you know, that we didn't actually have those stamps. And yeah, these just happened to be kind of from then, all those years ago. So just thinking we could have that kind of here, or maybe we could have it kind of like that. Might look quite nice. Oh, now I'm thinking, do we want a bit of black lace? You know, that just suddenly entered my head that I thought, oh, I wonder if we could have a bit of black lace on there. Perhaps that's exactly what we're needing. Let me just see, because I've got some black lace, I'm pretty sure, laying around somewhere. Again, I might have some in my little bag that I've taken to my mum's, so just grab that. Oh, I'm so hot. Okay, let's just, oh, now I'm thinking perhaps we'd prefer to have like a fabric tip-in or something opposite that. That was not my original plan at all, but for some reason, that's kind of calling to me now. Thinking that that looks really nice and striking against each other. What do you think? Let me stand up. Stand up and look down. Maybe just like that. Yeah, I quite like that, to be honest. I wonder if we could have a little bit. I mean, that lace isn't particularly very straight, but I don't think that really matters too much. Have it that way round, it's a bit straighter and better, isn't it? Do you know, I might do that. It was totally not what I was planning on doing at all, but I think it looks quite nice. So let's just glue this down. Oh no, stop it. Okay. Just pop that there. And just wipe that glue off. Okay, and then we're just going to pop this down like a belly band. So just the top there and the bottom. Like that. Okay. Just make sure that's nicely stuck down. Okay, so I love how that looks. And then, yeah, I'm just going to have that black lace, like a fabric tip-in, on the facing page because that just looks really pretty. So just glue that down there. Okay, right. So, you know, I mean, isn't it funny? I mean, that just kind of happened by accident, really. Was, you know, I was wondering what to put there, got the black lace out and just happened to chuck it there for a minute and it was like, oh, actually, that looks nice there. So sometimes these things just literally happen, you know, as if by accident, don't they? Now, wondering whether I could have a black word or anything. So again, let me just dig around and find them because I had them just now. Okay, here we go. Right. There we go. Just get rid of those bits to the side and yeah, just wondering whether we want it sort of like that. Whoops. Let me just ink or, you know, rough this up and then ink it so it's a little bit more dimension-y. Okay, just ink that. Okay. I mean, this piece of lace down here, this was just a scrap that was kind of floating around on my desk and I just thought, well, perhaps we should use it. Just wondering whether we might prefer it up there. I want something down here. I wonder if this is not quite the right piece. Well, it's not bad, is it? Perhaps I need it the other way up, so that little edge piece is kind of hanging off. Yeah, I think I prefer it like that. So I'm going to just then glue that down. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to hot glue this, which will hopefully kind of hold that lace exactly in place, like that. And then I'm going to just go along with my Fabri-Tac in a couple of those more filled in bits of lace. I mean, there aren't many filled in bits of lace, but just those couple that there were, to stick that down in place like that. Okay, so yeah, really like how that looks. And again, you know, once I've kind of done a bit more, sorry about jogging the table, once I've done a bit more through this book, then I will probably come back through and do some stamping and, you know, maybe put some butterflies and things like that in some places. So, you know, it will have then more, you know, more bits and pieces kind of around. So I do still really like this somewhere, but who knows, we could make a tag or something to pop in here that maybe, you know, we'll kind of combine with that. So that's that piece, right? And we'll go over the page now. So over the page, I'm going to have, I think, this corner tuck and maybe this, oh, what's this? Well, I guess it's another belly band actually, which now I've just suddenly thought I don't want it there because I don't want to have two very similar pieces on the consecutive pages. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for that there. Let's go back through and see what else I've got that I can marry that up with. So maybe that would be better. Yeah, I think I prefer that. So what I want to do is, for me, I just feel I need to pull something turquoisey over here, because obviously this has got this, you know, touch of turquoise, and I just feel it would be nice to have something kind of turquoisey over here. So I've got my these gorgeous teal coloured bits and pieces that I obviously stamped a few weeks ago. So I'm thinking we could maybe have something from here. So let me just cut out this postcard in the first instance. So, you know, this is just trial and error. We might find that this looks hideous. We might find it looks nice. We, you know, don't know till we try. But let's just cut that down. Okay. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? So now I'm thinking, could we have this like attached as a, you know, flippy on that pocket? Would be quite cool, wouldn't it? So if I just pop that there, right, let me see if I've got any suitable paper. So I've got some coffee dyed paper here. Oh, just like the perfect size. Seems to have something already stuck on it, but I wonder if, now isn't that typical? Look. If I tried to stick that down, it wouldn't have stuck, but it's now really well stuck. So what I might do is edge that with my decorative scissors. So let me just grab a pair of my decorative scissors. So I've got these gorgeous ones that Carol sent me. So I'll just then chop that down. Okay. Right, put those back. I'm trying to be very organised and tidy as I go. Does not come naturally to me at all. Well, it does in other areas of the house, but it certainly doesn't up here. So yeah, I'm thinking kind of put that there. So what I'm going to do is just fold this over. Oops. So if I move my book to one side, I'm going to fold it over here like that. Okay, squash that down like that. And then what I can do is glue that on, and then we can glue it on there at the side. So let's glue that on here in the first instance. So grab my glue. Okay. Right, just check I'm putting it the right way up, otherwise I'll have it on the wrong end of the postcard, which, you know, just wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. It's just the type of thing I would do. Okay, so make sure that's nicely stuck down. So I'm going to just tuck this under my leg for just literally a couple of minutes, and while I'm doing that, waiting for that to dry, I'm just going to ink up these pages slightly. So just go around them, ink them up a little bit. Okie dokie. Okay, and then in here as well. Okay, and down there a little bit to the side. And obviously, I mean, that pocket that's going here, it's going to cover up most of this page, so I don't need to kind of ink too much in the middle. Right, ink out the way. Right, let's get our piece back in. Hopefully it's been long enough. Oh, yep. For a minute I thought, oh, it's not glued on, but of course I hadn't tried to glue it onto here, had I? No, I only glued it down to there. So yeah, I'm going to have that kind of on there now, like that. So I think what I want to do is, just before I do that, I'm going to just ink up this bottom piece with the book page, because that's obviously, you know, not been inked. And so again, it looks not really bright, but a little bit brighter than I'd like. So just ink that up. Okie dokie. There we go. Right. And then I'm going to glue this on, literally by just, you know, open my flap again and, oops, attach it with the glue. Okie dokie. That's it. Oh, come on. So again, I mean, I should have really done this at the same time, but yeah, for some reason it didn't occur to me. So I'm now going to just put that onto my leg to dry again. So just for a few minutes, just because, you know, I don't want it kind of not sticking properly. So let's take our corner pocket here. Okay, so I can get glue in this one down because I love how that looks there. I do love those corner pockets, I must say. You know, they're just like one of the simplest pockets on the planet, aren't they? But, well, they're not really a pocket even, are they? They're a tuck spot, but they're one of the simplest things on the planet, but they look lovely. And I love using them for some reason. You know, when you tuck things there, for some reason it just, there's something really nice about it. I don't know why, but yeah, for some reason for me it feels like super nice when you kind of tuck something into those little triangle corners. Right, again, I'm going to have to stand up now to make sure I'm kind of gluing that down, you know, straightish. So, and again, I'd best just hold that in place for a couple of minutes. I might even use my big paper clips, I think, for a few minutes to just help it on its way, because I don't want it then coming up. Okay, and then a bit here. Oops, be careful that I don't pull that bling off, and we'll just do a bit here, I think. No, that's not really holding that. Hold on. What am I doing? Come on, come on. Okay, right, like that. Okay, let's have a look and see how our piece is doing now, our envelope. So yeah, looks like it's kind of attached reasonably well now. So want to now put some other bits, I think, on here. So let's have a look through our ephemera pieces and just see whether we've got anything that's, you know, shouting that it wants to go there. If I could have that little bit here, this kind of bannery label-y thing. So let's just cut that out. Okay. Oops. Okey-dokey, right, I'm just going to snip that down so I can just cut it out a little bit easier. It's easier when it's not obviously on the big page, you know, attached to everything. Come on. Trim that down and just go in there. Right, don't think I've got that very straight at that edge. Okay, hopefully that's better. Right, so then just have a look. I mean, we could even have it on there, to be honest. It looks quite nice. But I was obviously really thinking for it under there. And I'm just wondering whether we could have one of those little pieces, those like doobry things, you know, to hold this closed. But, where would it go? It would have to go, let me have a look, hold on. trying to work this out. So we could have it possibly pinned on here at the end. So let me just grab in those little doobies. I don't really know what you call these things, but you know, these things. So let's grab that. Again, just ink that up. I mean, obviously it is on that buff coloured card, so I mean, it's not really needing particularly, whoops, a lot of inking, but just a little bit. I don't even think the ink's really showing on that. I probably, because I've been trying not to over ink with the pages, I haven't really been dipping it in too heavy. So yeah, there we go. Right, let's have a look. So yeah, we could have the belly bandy piece there. And then I'm thinking I could just have this just here on the edge. Just have to see whether it's actually got room to, you know, like do the maneuver where you turn it round, you know. Or is that too tight? Well, I think it would be okay actually. I mean, it is a little bit tight, but I think it would be okay. So yeah, do we like this here? I quite like that there. Okay, so let's just put this down. And again, I mean, we could just glue this down just really like a belly band, to be honest. So let's just pop that in there. Okay, just get my wipe. Just dab up the edges where there's any excess glue oozing out. Okay, so that's going to close in there. Might just ink up that edge a little bit, because obviously it's quite bright at the moment. So we just ink this up just a tiny bit. Probably should have inked this before gluing it down, because it's now not very easy to get to, you know, isolated from the rest of the pocket, but never mind. Okay. And then this here, just going to like put a brad in to hold it here. So let me just have a look, because I've got my brads that I stumbled across the other day. Well, I didn't really stumble across them. I mean, I knew I had them, but I just hadn't used them for a long time. So I'm thinking we could use one of those brown flowers. The small brown flowers, there we go. So let's just put those away. Fiddly fiddly. Okay, right, pop that away and just get my pokey tool. Okay, so I want to kind of go through here, really kind of as close to the edge as I can get without actually tearing the pockets or the envelope, because you know, otherwise I'm not going to have enough room to be able to twist that thingy round. I don't know what they're called. Would they be called a latch, or I don't know. Don't know what it would be called, to be honest. But anyway, need to have enough room to actually be able to kind of turn it. So, whoops, press my brad open. Just squash that down. Okay, does that move out the way? Yep, it moves out the way enough to be able to then open that. Right, I'm just going to ink. I've just noticed this little, you know, where we've made the hinge, so I'm just going to ink that up so it's a bit better. Okay, right, we're now rearing to go. Okay, right, so we've got that there. Now going to take those paper clips off, and I'm thinking, you know, I do need to obviously tie it in a little bit more with this side. So for me, this side, you know, it's got some black, it's got some brown and things like that. So let's have a look and see what we need to put here. And it might be, you know, we could have a little word or something. So let's just cut that out. You know, this might look good, it might look rubbish, who knows. Just trial and error, all worth trying, isn't it? Okay, cut that down. Oops. That looks quite nice. I can't help but think I need something else. Let's just have a look. because I haven't got any lace on that pocket anywhere, to be honest. It's looking pretty naked, isn't it? So we could have some lace along there, along the top, or we could have it here. I'm going to have it along the top, I think. So let's do that in the first instance. Okay, I don't want it too low because then it's going to be interfering with my owl's faces, because the faces are just there. So I didn't want it dangling too low, covering them up. So there we go, and just trim that down. Oh, come on. Oh no. Oh, come on. And then just trim that across the top, and okay, get rid of that. And what I'm thinking actually is possibly if we get a brown stamp, you know, real life stamp, just going to ink this little word up a bit. Because, you know, that side, it looks very grungy, doesn't it? Where I've got that gorgeous flower and, you know, all of that stuff. It's got quite a grungy effect. So just see whether we need to kind of have this side looking a bit more grungy too. Okay. Put that there. Maybe we could have it here. That's, yeah, that, I prefer that, I think. So let me just pull in my postage stamps. And as you know, I colour sorted these a little bit. So hopefully this kind of cuts down a tiny bit on how much time it takes to look for them. Okay, what's this? Now, is this the right colour brown? I would have preferred this kind of shade, but I might not have one really in that colour shade, because it also needs to be reasonably small, because that stamped postcard is obviously, you know, it's not full size, so the stamp can't be too big, or else it's going to just take over. Oh, that's a better colour. Yeah, I think that's a better colour. Okay, yeah, that looks cool. Right, let me just put this now away. Oh, this whole tidying up as you go malarkey, it's takes a bit of getting used to, doesn't it? Right, okay, I am trying hard. Right, we just ink this up a little bit. No, I'm really liking, well, I can't claim to be tidy or organised yet, but I am quite liking the whole trying to get tidy. It's, you know, it's quite inspiring, I think. I mean, I like to have all my mess around me, don't get me wrong, because I find that inspiring, and everything being put away, I just then forget what I've got and I won't then use it. I like the eclectic mix, but having said that, it is quite nice, you know, not being quite so messy. So yeah, quite liking that. Now, do I want this on here or not? I'm just fiddling around and fiddling around. I don't know. I do want some lace or something down here. So let's just have a look. I've got this kind of dark grey. Oh gosh, no. No. That looked terrible, didn't it? Sometimes you can't tell until you hold it there. And then, you know, sometimes you just put it there and instantly just think, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? That looks terrible. So I've got my crochet lace. This is kind of my favourite. So yeah, I really love this. Now, I can't put it over because obviously this flips out, so I need to bear that in mind a little bit. Do you know, I'm just going to stick this pocket down, I think, because again, I might come back to this and add like some ruffle or something like that. Yeah, so I'm going to just stick this down. I'm going to stick it on 3 sides so that it can be a pocket, or actually I'm going to stick it on these 3 sides, so it's a top loading pocket. And I know that lots of people, they cut these envelopes open at the top and have a top, you know, top pocket here as well. So of course you could do that. I'm not going to do that because, to be honest, I've got a lot of pockets already in my altered book, because obviously all of those book pages that are stitched as pockets, not stitched, sorry, stuck as pockets. So I feel, you know, I definitely don't need to add any more pockets really, but yeah, you can do that obviously. Right, so that's that pocket now. again, let me just put some bling on here. And that will just, you know, tie it in really wonderfully with the other side. Yeah. Oops. Okay, let me just check. So stand up, and I want to cut this down a bit. Okay. Yeah, quite like it like that. So I just then glue this down, just using that Fabri-Tac. Okay, so looks really good, doesn't it? Yeah, I really like how that's coming along now. I didn't really, you know, I couldn't really decide about the black word, to be honest, whether I wanted it on there or not. So, you know, might come back and decide, oops, just, oh, come on, decide to have it or might not. Oh, just leave it there. What do you think? Let me just move it. Oh, I'm going to have it. Yeah, let's be exciting. Let's be adventurous. Let's just go for that. So I'm just going to, again, just hot glue that down, because that just then, you know, the glue just then seeps through into the lace, and then it's stuck. Okay. There we go. Let's just get the excess glue off there. I'm just going to trim that sort of header piece off of that lace because it was looking a bit thick. There we go. So super, super cute. Now, just before I finish, I did just spot this butterfly like lingering around beside me, and just wondered whether we might have that somewhere. Well, we might do or we might not. So I might just think that's overkill, but we'll, you know, I'll have a decide. But yeah, that's probably it for today, because I'm not sure whether I've stopped the camera or not. I can't remember. So if I have, I've obviously been filming for ages. So, but if I haven't, then I'm okay. I'm still at like 51 minutes. So yeah, I hope that you like the pages that we've done. We've obviously now made a start, and hopefully you can see it kind of beginning to take shape. And yeah, I hope that you'll join me again next time. And thank you so much for joining me. Okay, guys, have a great day. See you later. Bye.